All right, cowboy, you've got one chance. Ask me one question, otherwise you die.
I'm sitting here with Jay Bonansinga, the author of the Walking Dead novelizations, The Rise of the Governor, The Road to Woodbury, The Fall of the Governor, parts 1 and 2, and you've got a couple more.
Yeah, well, I started out writing horror. In fact, I grew up wanting to be a horror writer. In fact, the first time I probably wanted to be a horror writer was when I was a little kid and I turned on the TV and saw Rod Serling hosting this show called The Twilight Zone. That made me want to be a writer more than pretty much anything else because he looks so cool. And my dad or mom told me, yeah, he writes the shows that he introduces. And I'm thinking, that guy, that cool dude with the cigarette, and he writes the shows too. And then I was like, so I wanted to be a writer so bad, but I probably didn't have any idea what it would mean to be a writer. I didn't want to do any of the work. I just wanted to look like Rod Serling. I remember when I was in college, all I could think about and obsess about was getting an agent. I'm old enough that when I was a kid, I used to watch Westerns. The coolest Westerns that, were about professionals. They were about bounty hunters and sheriffs, and they knew what they were doing, and they were good at it. They weren't pompous about it. They just got the job done.
Yeah.
Make a long story short, I did become a horror writer. I was obsessed with it. I wanted to do everything I needed to do to be a professional. I think it does go back to that Rod Serling effect of having mastery over something, So I really wanted to do this, and you do have to be kind of driven to do this work. I look at it as a craft. I always did. And I do to this day. I don't think there's anything mystical or ethereal about it. It's like building solid, good furniture that people can sit in, and use. But I use this technique that's been passed down for generations. I think it was Mark Twain who originally said this. It's where you end each day of your writing session with a cliffhanger. And that way, the next day, you go back and you go, oh yeah, this is where I left off the day before. They got a gun in their face, or they're hanging by their their fingernails, or something horrible is about to happen, or a zombie's about to bite into our hero's neck. After years and years and years of having pretty good luck writing horror novels, I'd written 18 novels when I got a call from my agent, I'll never forget, the first thing he said is, have you ever heard of The Walking Dead? And this was in 2009, and I was like, is it a comic book? And he's like, yeah, and it's going to be a show on AMC. And this is how, it all started for me.